हरिसाउनै पर्थ्यो गेममा खेल्न हामीसँग
गो लाइफ
सुन्न रहने
ए
त्यो हुनेवाला सासूले त तँलाई नराम्रो भनेर रहेछ त
यो मादर मायासाला बोको अनि चाहिँ मादर यही हो क्या दलाल
त
मादर
सुन्न त त्यसको उमा आइरहेछ कि छैनस् भन्दा त्यसले तँबाट त्यही रियाक्सन चाहियो हो क्या हो कि भन्नु त तैँले किन त्यसलाई रियाक्सन दिएको त्यो मुजी हो क्या त्यसको चाहिँ के भइरहेको थियो त्यसको
तेरो भाइ तेरो घर तेरो भनिस गर्लफ्रेन्डलाई भनिस भाइ हाम्रो सब थाहा भइसक्यो भाइ के भाइ
सोध्नु हो त्यसलाई त्यसको गर्लफ्रेन्डले चाहिँ के भन्दो रहेछ त्यसको घरले के त्यो
भन्न ला न अनुहार होइन साथी सबै कुरामा कमेन्ट आउँछ तेरो भने एकचोटि
मुख हेरेर मानेको त मुजी
साथी
खाइस रणमतीको
किन भन्नु त ममा टर्न किन भएको भन्दा त आफै
म टर्न भइसकेको थिएँ न युटर्नमा त्यसलाई क्या ब्याकफायर हानिदिइहाल्यो नि खै लगा न के लगाइरह भनेर रिस उठ्दै यार
सुरु भएन त रुक्न त ठुलो कुरा किन गरेर
के गरेर त्यो कार्ड सार्ड चलाइरह के हो यो
त बच्चालाई के यस्तो कुरा
काम छोड्दिस् हर्के
छैन
छोड्दैनस् दोस्त तेरो जिन्दगी त्यहीँ जान्छ अब
पक्कै त अझ क्वालिटी बनाउँछ सिस्टमको सेटिङ्स स्ट्रिम कहाँ बनाउँथ्यो क्वालिटी आउटपुटमा बिट्रेट
मगर्नीलाई हान्दा कस्तो मजा आएको थियो
कन्टेक्स्ट भनेर बोल न कन्टेक्स्ट भनेर बोल पब्जीमा तैँले त्यसरी हानेर मर्दाखेरिको राम्ररी बोल न साथी मरि हाने के बोल्यो तैँले
अलि तैँले र मैले मात्रै बुझ्यो होला है कसम
सर इटालियनमा छ त्यो
बेटर क्वालिटी
स्टेडियम छैन
अप्लाई
अब यही कुरा सोच्न त्यो 90,000 1 लाख मान्छेले हेरेर हिजो बेलुका
कसले हेर्छ देख्नु परेन तल हेर्नलाई
ए भाइ हिजो 100K भएको के भन्दै रोने
100K भाइ हाम्रो स्ट्रिममा ठुल्को नगर
देखिरहेको छ जेरो भ्यू हेर्छ
ओइ
के भन्न सक्छ
त्यसलाई एक दिग जोड्नु नि त पर्छ नि भाइ
त समात्नै पर्छ
त्यो पनि मैले
पब्जी PUBG डब के रे PMWC
अहिले भएपछि एपिजीले फर्स्ट गेममा 10 पोइन्ट कटाउँछ सेकेन्ड गेम चिकन गेम छ
तिमीहरूलाई थाहा नै छैन गेम सेन्सै छैन आज EAले जित्छ हौ
आज ये कतातिर छ लास्टतिर हो हो र त भाइ त्यति ए हाँस्नु पर्दैन है जस हाम्रो त्यही रहेछ स्थिति हेर्दै माथि टाउकोमा
डिफरेन्स म्याप हेर 48
Since the finals have started, we just haven't seen that from them. So if they go back to that,
हेर्न एउटा क्याटेगोरी यो रहेछ एउटा क्याटेगोरी यो रहेछ नि अर्को क्याटेगोरी यहाँ रहेछ
trying to control the zones, they have a real good
एकचोटि
chance.
16 होइदियोस् न मजा
as well, and do not forget, yes, of course, we're focusing a lot on who will become the champion here.
आज 16 मा सकोस् जस्तो लागेन गेम
A
तलाई
lot of money on the line here for every single one of these placements, Max, to try and scramble above your competitors.
Thunder Talk in particular.
हर्केलाई कहाँसम्म पुग्छ जस्तो लाग्छ हर्के
If we continue to have a decent day today, maybe they could just able to jump up onto the first page, and that prize point lead would be
अब बोल्दाखेरि कस्तो आउँछ साउन्ड
even if we have the bottom, we still have a lot to play for in this final day.
And the question all the way at the top for me, Seven, is do these teams prefer? Do they prefer to try and go for the crazy glory of trying to knock these teams off the pedestal because you constantly have to target them if you want to try it, or do you protect what you currently have in terms of prize pool? Because it's still
हटाने दारीलाई
third place, fourth place, fifth place, etc.
एपीजी र त्यो के अरे उसको एकरो चलिरहेछ हौ
The top 5.
कसलाई हेर्नै पर्दैन
ठ्याक्कै हेरेको त होइन उयो के अरे ठ्याक्कैको 31K भ्युज होइन भ्युवर होइन
Then we might start seeing a little
CR7
bit of targeting,
को
especially if we end up seeing a little bit of gaps here and there. One thing though is that all the other teams from third place to 14th place
यो पागल हो यो
close, so it's along the lines of what you're saying, Max. They are going to be fighting for that prize.
Well, this is Jimmy Amongst survival here for all of these teams to get ready and good to go. You can see the tension rising here for some of these teams again, especially for those two towards the top. Max, you were saying?
No, I was going to say actually, if we see one of the two top teams actually make it in the first game,
बल्ल
the entire lobby is going to be an absolute shambles because the tournament could end.
Orala देखाने last को टिमलाई देखानो
Hail Mary send, hot drop the top team so they can't get the smash. You want to try and slow down your main competition.
म हुनु पर्छ क्या त्यही
यो नापिस दुईजना डिलुजनल फक्स का दुईजना डिलुजनल फक्स
So much it changes the whole dynamic.
आइज न भाइ हर्के तँलाई नि म मजाले चखाइदिन्छु नि तँलाई
यहाँ छ त यो
सबै
बारेमा
जान्छ
बोल्दै यहाँ छ त कहाँ बोलेको होरको बारे
आइज नि त आइज अहिले आइज
कोइल त हेपेको अनि चाहिँ मलाई सक्छ होला 1v1
म ए सुन्न अब मै त हार्छु भन्दाखेरि रोहनसँग 1v1 मा यो हरि मबाट हार्ने मान्छे कसरी दिन्छ भने आफै त रोहन
त्यो ठुलो कुरा गर्दै रहेछ त नि
आइज न
ल र कहिले त्यसपछि हान्नुपर्छ अहिले त खेल्दैन अल्फाले हानिदिन्छ होला तँलाई जिस्केन हैन
त्यो चाहिँ अलि बढी पनि हुन त फेरि हानिदिन्छ हान्न देऊ तर अलि साले उयो रिभाइभ गरिदिन्छ यसलाई हामीलाई रिभाइभ गर्न पर्यो भने चाहिँ हानिदिन्छ
एउटा हानेर तिम्रो दुईटा रिभाइभ गरे बिर्स्यौ
मृत्युका पारेको नि त हान्ने त्यसलाई त्यही त भित्र बसेर एकछिन चलेर बसिरहेको
The group stage welcomes the next best performance by PMWC.
के गरिरहेछ सर अनि जान यार हेर न
के हेर्छस् बे त्यहाँ
त्यही हेर्छु म त्यो दारीलाई हेर्छु यो सट्टा
लाइभ पनि गरेर हेर्नु मैले त अझै ठुलो सुन्न आवाज सुन्न यसो त्यही त हो नि किन पाण्डु त किन जाने त के हेर्छस् भन आवाज सुन्न जुब्ला भयो
यहाँ मलाई उति केटी हेर्नु छ बिचको
नहेर सबै कुरा चाहिने
के गरेर हो
क्राफ्ट गरेर क्राफ्ट
is absolutely a veteran roster that I think might have the perseverance today to be able to overcome that pressure. What do you think?
It is
Because I was just waiting for you to say the word. I was waiting for you to say, yeah, Alpha Gaming is full of MVPs. Alpha Gaming is full of PMGC MVPs as well. They've been here. They have that experience.
They've been
to be
here.
honest, I don't see them crumbling, and this is why I just continue to pick this team. I don't see Alpha Gaming letting off the gas, especially with the way they're playing.
It's kind of crazy because for I think for a lot of us, having watched PUBG Mobile esports for so long, it's kind of destiny against the dream, right? The fact that Alpha Gaming on one side has the destiny laid out before them. We always think that they're going to win an international tournament, Max, but then the dream of Yangon Galacticos, this young kids coming from Myanmar, nobody really expected them to take this position, but here they are, potentially going to win one of the big ones.
You would ask anyone if they predicted Yangon Galacticos before this tournament, I can tell you that number is extremely low. The dream is alive right now, 118 points. Currently a massive gap.
के हेर्छस् भने त किन जान्ने भोल्टी त
मलाई दारीलाई हेर्नु मन थियो म गेमै दारीलाई हेर्न आएको
Never winning a global event this tournament would mean so much to especially Top and Yol, and Yol could also confirm his second global trophy. This would be a massive achievement if they can make it happen, but again, the pressure is going to be high.
Let's take a look at the power rankings here and boil everything down. You were saying, Neptura?
I was indeed saying something that I want to see. I'm curious to see because Alpha Gaming, right? They played so well, and as A7 mentioned, Top was not on his best form, right? This is a star-studded roster, and if APG win like that, play like that with Top not being his best, he comes in today at the top of his game. They're just gonna fly.
Potentially here, Yangon Galacticos and Alpha. In who could upset here 7.
के हेर्छस् भने त
Outside comebacks, but I think a lot of eyes might be on to upset the balance for today.
My favorite role when it comes down to finals day, championship Sunday. It comes down to those teams that just have absolutely nothing to lose. Now you're gonna be seeing all the way to the right of Villains Power. The reason why I want to see what Power is gonna be doing in regards to Villains is because this team has just been so aggressive. Remember, at one point in day one, Neptura, they ended up with 30 eliminations, 0 placement points. So for those teams at the top, maybe trying to hunt them down, they better watch out for those villains.
Absolutely. I think them and also Four Thrives are two teams that I think would definitely hot drop one of the top 2 teams if they get the chance. I could see them doing that. We've seen Four Thrives hot drop all the time, even when we don't want them to. So for them, they're in the top 8. They're not too far behind. This could be very advantageous for both of those teams. teams to actually do that.
I just want China back on top, man. I've been waiting ever since
Go with China.
Costa Nindra.
but since then, except maybe Tiamba got relatively close at one point. I want a Chinese team here to dominate.
यो पोएमहरु चाहिँ छैन
Maybe drop the explosive bow. Maybe pick up a DB.
तर त खुसी खुसी हान्थ्यो त पोएमहरु चाइनिज टिम
into the top 2.
Quick predictions then. Who's taking it? APG.
APG.
अबे मान्छे आइसक्यो यार
आयो हामा हान भइसक्यो बे
Now with a 10 feet pole, I'm getting it away from this.
That is fair. That is fair. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting day. And it's an exciting road that we've been on here for PMWC because we now have an opportunity to crown a new PMWC champion. We have either the destiny or the destruction here for day number 3 of the grand finals. Let's do this.
Paris
The defending champions will not be going through to the finals. Absolutely insanity. This is a sad sight for Alpha 7.
Four Thrives on top again and again. Power has more control over the circle. Alter Egos are looking like the top dogs here.
कस्तो क्वालिटी घटेर आउने
It all comes down to this.
Oh, yeah, more than
$3 million and 1 trophy. This isn't just any tournament. This is a legacy in the making. My name is Barney Banks, and I am your host for the PMWC the 2025 Esports World Cup. We've seen unbelievable plays, we've seen heartbreaks, and we've seen comebacks. But now only one thing changes. Today, Smash Rule comes into play. So get loud and get ready as we introduce your teams to the main stage for one final time, starting with the next generation of players from Turkey. They are IDA Esports. Dominating day 1 and 2 of the finals. Can they cross the finish line in style? Yangon Galacticos. After dominating their region, they were crowned champions of PEL. But
गफन बेल्नु नि एउटा
म्याच आएपछि मलाई लु फला
काटेर जा
यसमा
चिक्ने
चिलो है चिलो
लामा खामा चिलो
Entering this tournament as the reigning club champions. They are also the reigning champions of PMSL Europe and finishing top 3 in their past 2 global events. It is Team Falcons! After closing day 2 in glorious fashion, can they bring a global trophy back to Indonesia? It's Alter Ego Eres! Your reigning champions of PMSL Southeast Asia, E-Arena. They made light work of the group stage. They are the only team from Pakistan to ever make it to a global grand final. They are 4 Thrives Esports. A familiar face on the main stage. They are your 2025 Rivals Club champions, Non-Shim Red Force. The enigma of the PMWC, battling their way to the finals. They are Team Secret. Hometown heroes and the last MENA team standing. It is Power Esports. On paper, they stand out above the rest. A team with 3 global MVPs. Alpha Gaming! Their player, Silas, has the chance to secure the global Grand Slam right here. They are the reigning PMGO champions. It's Regnum Carrier Esports. The all-star lineup of PEL with 2 PMGC MVPs on the roster. It's Weibo Gaming. The team who smashed their way through the survival stage. They are Hora Esports. The champions of the PUBG Mobile Pro Series and currently in 5th place on our leaderboard from Korea, DRX. And finally, can the veterans secure a global title at the PMWC? Turkey's very own Fire Flux Esports. Each of these teams began their journey with the same dream, to become champions. And now, 6 maps, 6 efforts, 6 chances at glory. Some were favorites, some were underdogs, but all of them gave us unforgettable moments that reminded us of why we love this game. And so, we come to the final chapter of a truly incredible story, and we hope to see how this will end. So, to the players, this is your moment. And to the fans around the world, welcome to Smash Sunday!
There were so many good teams entering the group stage here at PMWC 2025. We had 4 Thrives, Alpha Gaming, the side of Horror Esports. All of the CSA teams were looking so incredibly good at the start. And of course, Weibo with Order and Sogda had a lot of hope behind this team as to could they possibly make it into the finals. And to make it into the top 8 was always going to be incredibly rough at that stage.
अहिले त पुरा हेर्छु इन्टरभ्यू पनि हेर्छु इभन हेर्छु त्यो पनि हेर्छु गर्दै चिस्तो मुजी
instantly comes to mind, and that is going to be for Thrives. Every player performed exceptionally well. You're looking at T24P, Faluk, IQSD, IGL, but especially Noki stepped up big time, able to secure some really key chicken dinners in the group stage, and able to secure themselves the second place to move on into the final. Well, my favorite moment in the group stage, I think it would have to be the almost 1v3 clutch from Noki on 4 Thrives against Alpha 7 and Miramar. That clutch would have just been absolutely historical for the Pakistani region as a whole, and it didn't quite work out for him, but it highlights again how good Noki is as a fragger and how he can clutch up in really key moments just like this.
Survival stage was full of opportunities for teams that weren't able to qualify to grand finals via group stages, especially with the top dogs from group stages not being there. Opportunity, that's pretty much what it came down to. One of the teams that surprised me the most was actually Power Esports. This team was a completely different team from what we saw during group stages, being able to be more aggressive, on top of that getting those chicken dinners. Hopefully this kind of game style that we saw out of them in survival stage will translate going to the grand finals. When you think about dreams being crushed, there's only one team that comes to mind, and that is none other than the defending champions, Alpha 7. Coming into PMWC at EWC 25 this year, Alpha 7 was one of the favorite teams, being the defending champions. But what we saw out of this team was not champion caliber gameplay. It was actually very lackluster gameplay, indecisions, and just calls that this team had never made before. And this has been a pattern for this team when it came down to global events. It is a big wake-up call for Alpha 7. For me, the best moment, as much as it pains me to say this, it came down actually after the last match, when Hora Esports, a team that nobody has been counting, especially when you think about it from last year, they just look over towards Alpha 7 and they did this.
For the grand finals, I expect nothing less than the best that these teams have to offer. They have proven to us that they deserve to be here, and so now we want to see them perform one last time. The stakes have never been higher at PMWC. Not only do we have a $3 million prize pool, an epic trophy, and the all-important key, we also no longer have Alpha 7, which means we are guaranteed a new champion to both claim those prizes and crush every other team's key.
All right, it's time to rev up those engines because we have one final day here for PMWC as all of these players get ready to head on into Sandhawk to determine who is going to become our champion live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We have Seven, we have Neptura, we have Maxman. Maxman did enough talking in that segment. So Seven, the analyst, what do you think coming into our first Sandhawk?
I mean, we're already saying anything there is to say in regards to some of these top teams. I think we got to look at the middle of the pack, Maxman. You even said there's just so much money at stake. You're going to be looking at DRX, you're going to be looking at EDA Esports, one team that was able to step it up yesterday, 4 Thrives. They're looking to move up on the leaderboard and trying to see if they can possibly get a top 5.
We had a glimpse of the group stage again here yesterday in their matches. Definitely a lot more presence on the Miramar in particular, leaving Picardo, able to get so many extra points on that chicken dinner. Very impressive from Pakistan. Again, the first time ever we've seen a Pakistani team here in a global finals. Can they jump way high in the leaderboards? That is going to be their main goal for today.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see them not only be the first, but to be the first that's so strong as well. 4 Thrives coming in, showing what they're made of, making other teams respect them. Faltering day 1, day 2, coming back really, really good into day 3. I'm very excited to see if they can contend that top 2 position.
And you've got so many storylines not just going to be colliding in all of these matches. Possibly success, maybe way less, we'll have to see, but also there's so many contenders at the top. You're looking at Alpha Gaming. Doc is currently leading, followed up by Reefers, which is a big surprise. Zion is currently in 4th position. There's a high chance Alpha Gaming can be taking at least 1 award at the end of today.
That is true. That Sony Grand Finals MVP will be focused on towards the very end. 7 that could be taking that spot.
Right now, you mentioned it, Max. Doc, I mean, Top actually needs to be able to improve with what we were saying earlier. Doc, with the way that he's been able to just continue to play, continue to improve on the performance, and at times, a player that would usually be the one that gets first eliminated for his squad, that's not the case anymore coming into this grand finals.
He's kind of been saving the day, actually, surviving at the solo in these matches and able to get extra placement points, as we see right now, was very, very impactful to allow them to just stay just behind Yangon Galacticos. But I think one play we were talking about quite a bit for Alpha Gaming Neptura was Reefers. The player that's been way more silent in PMSL CSA, but he's really just like Noki for 4 Thrive, just risen up to glory.
Yeah, it's really nice to see a lot of those players that you can kind of call support players, right? They're the ones that are making the things work for those fraggers to come in and sweep the lobby. But it's so nice to see them come into their own limelight as well. You've got Reefus coming in, some really good angles, some really good hits, great shots. He's doing very well. He's getting into that MVP position, and that's just making Alpha Gaming that much stronger.
Let's get to it then. Sandhawk is on the cards for our first game of the day. Will the Assassins come at the 2 Kings at the top here for our first match? Let's head over to the commentators.
The bookend map for the PMWC here live in Saudi Arabia at the Esports World Cup. We started so long ago on Sandhawk, and of course this will be the beginning of the end for these teams today. So close to that Smash rule coming into effect, and as Barney Banks said down on the stage, it's gonna be Smash Sunday. There's gonna be intensity, action, blood, sweat and tears. 15 of these keys will be crushed blank, and only 1 squad will walk away champions.
15 teams battling it out to dismount Yangon Galacticos from the top. The 2 Kings in APG and Yangon Galacticos sitting high upon those thrones. Can those teams underneath dismount them? Like Kale says, it's a wonder here, but we're getting Sandhawk to start things off in just a short moment. No Smash ruling will come effect on this first match. It's all about getting over that match point.
That's what we're working with. We'll keep you up to date as things flow, as the teams start to show us what they're made of today. But all you can do, if you're watching at home or in the arena here live, give these teams your energy. Make some noise in that building and show us how excited you are for these games.
We're cutting across Sandhawk directly horizontal like a slice from a katana. Which one of these teams will be sharp enough in this game to get above of that match point at 128 and take this whole tournament home? Or will we go all 6 maps today? We can only wait and see as all the teams get out the plane and situated on this match. It looks like Power and 4 Thrives are not done on their duel up towards Hattin.
It's been a fitting name for Power because it has been a power struggle between these 2 teams. It's happened again and again. We'll see if they actually learn and have some reservations. Obviously, the first time it was Power that pulled it off. Second game, it was 4 Thrives that came out on top. And this time, they both call it quits on the adjustment drops.
Smart move from Power here. They know they're in 10th place. They're going to push this further. Surprisingly, 4 Thrives are actually over the top of them with 68, but the middle portion of these points is so interchangeable. And the interchangeability does mean massive swings in cash and glory as you head further and further up those tables. We're going to sit ourselves over towards the eastern side, which does, surprisingly, surprisingly with the circle look that we've seen from them, Yangon Galacticos in a great position in Paradise Resort.
A team that has proved so much in such a short space of time. Tons of talent, very exciting to watch, and I think it's been quite an amazing storyline with how obviously some of us were looking at this thinking, yeah, okay, you're kind of making it work, but is the consistency there? Is this sustainable? Is this repeatable? And I mean, all we've had from the playoffs has been a big resounding yes again and again and again.
It's been more of that, please, the entire time. For Yangon Galacticos, their maneuvers have been sound. It has been smart when it needs to be. Some god grenades been sent over the top from this team. No individual player really strikes out either over on Yangon Galacticos. There has been some moments of absolute domination from some of those players in key moments, but it's a different player each time stepping up to the plate to deliver for that squad. I think that's what makes them so great, is that the players all can perform at such a high level. No one's lagging behind on that team. Everyone's running in lockstep with one another. There's a couple of teams we'll be focusing on this match, and this is one of them right here. It's Weibo Gaming. Currently in 3rd place on 82 points, having a real standout here for their region, with some legendary names on board, such as Order right here.
He's quite consistently been bringing the down on the side of these.
हाय यार हो रहा है लेकिन गन पावर वाला प्लेयर है ना
now they're thrown into a clash versus Aura. First tag's good.
No down. Exam the down was a 2 down by both the Bando Slam out any.
Order goes down pretty quickly as well, playing behind the stairways, but Aura's taking a sideswipe angle here. I think Team Secret starts to get slightly involved.
Sorpal Hannibal.
Sky moves up, but he's
Sorpal Hannibal, Rohani.
Waiting. Like a blade of grass to stab and strike from the back.
Sukta Gaya, we never go.
He's getting his audio cues as well. All about timing for this one. Slowly makes his move forward. The jump up from Sky, giving the game away, but the periphery wasn't spotted. He instantly engages. Angle peak as well. Sleeping, the bite back. It's a hefty hit. Looking for more.
33Z steps up though behind him on a beautiful DBS shot. And Weibo this is a resounding success from this team, and again it's a real fast start here for Weibo Gaming. They know that they need big elims on these matches. They hope to catch up to APG as well as Galacticos.
ल साथी म चाहिँ फेरि सुत्न दिइराख त कस्तो आनन्द भएर एकछिन उठे टक्क हेरे पट्ट मरे टक्क सुते
Hope to avoid being just an additional point on that markup, because like you say, they'll be grabbing those with both hands. Already some more action from the squads that are at the top. It's Alpha that are back on screen. Looking for a bit of a drive-by. A couple establishing shots that were thrown out towards Fireflies.
Gaming get themselves back up on their feet now. All 4 players. Alpha Gaming on
Southwest
side. Contact of Ida probably quite soon alongside Turkish brethren in Fireflux who are just off towards the east. This is around Quarry. Not an easy position to play, honestly. Will siphon a lot of
India was England
and they'll have to break fast on the west. Yangon Galacticos though, targeted. And why not? Give yourself extra time if you Regnum Kaya, who've had some okay games, honestly, currently at 74 points, but they'd like to bit further up the leaderboards after such success over towards PMGO and overall from this team. These playoffs as much as possible.
खेल्न सक्नेहरु कसरी जान्छन् हो सब पैसा खान्देर
They would need to climb.
Blind Christian wins
out these teams from being able to get themselves to smash rule. The longer the day goes on, the better. Here, opportunities could present themselves. It's Loxing that's hoping to lock in with the barrage of points, but the instant response is so quick.
What's that? If you're Regnum Kaya, you think to yourself, I'm working against a reaction speed machine. That's terrifying. That would scare me. That would really scare me. It's like Regnum Kaya now realize that they need to be instantaneous on a block. They need to get this team shot quickly now. They know they can't take any quick stabs in the dark. If they're not successful, immediately if that's not a good today, I don't know what
येको बाइक सबैको नेट गयो र सबै बट भएर त्यो पोइन्ट काउन्ट गर्ने भने जित्दैन के यसले
खोया जित्दैन
No, it's at their fingertips.
एउटा म्याचमा अगाडि गइन्छ होला हौ
Lion's share of the prize money.
कति 60 पोइन्ट यार किलको 60 पोइन्ट आयो हैन
60 70 त भयो 70 जोड्न कति हो 70 80 90 त हो
अन्त त्यो लन त ल 2 गेम ल अन्त अहिले 10 गेम पनि जित्दैन भयो हैन
त्यस्तो एउटा गेम भएर पनि अर्को गेम खेल्न पाउनु होला हैन
sets themselves up nicely on this eastern edge. There's a very good area of escape here for them, but the circle will center up on the eastern island, giving both Regnum Kai and Yangon Galacticos here from Paradise Resort. Authorized are going to make their way down the arena here, just on the northern precipice of Paris Resort. In the meantime, Alter Ego, who we spoke about a lot, not so much in this game so far, as we were focused on the team in 4th place, 78 points. Further away, but they are the top of the middle of the pack, I would say, in terms of point scoring.
For gaming, and they move bit by bit here. Quick scan from Doc. Cash whiff of any positions and get a read on this. Puerto Rico not far out, just over towards boot camp.
It's a weird one for us as well, Jackie. The announcement from James Yang earlier, this is likely the final ever Sandhawk will cast.
Kind of crazy, man. It's always a fun map, provides for some very interesting games. But hey, Rondo's looking exciting.
That it is. So we'll make the most of this one. I know it's not any secret, as I say it multiple times, especially the audience at home, that Sandhawk has always been one of my favorite maps and holds a special place in my heart for the chaotic action. And that's what I'm looking for towards the end of this map. To look to secure those match points for certain teams towards the top to set themselves up nicely, to tee themselves off into match 2 and 3.
Weibo, shots down range. It's the RX that are on screen now. We get their POV. Nades over the top. Nice. So good. Right on top of water. And look at the follow-up. The downtime on that is pinpoint. Great communication to get that opening opportunity to reply.
Inside the rock, those nades.